down to basically 1 heartbeat per minute. Also, during the summertime, they can spend 2.5 hours underneath the water. In the wintertime, they can actually spend 5 to 6 hours underneath the water. So it's really amazing how these guys actually do that. So, but think about it, they've been around for a while, so they know exactly how to consume their body and kind of let it go down. Oh, that's a jump pop. I had my fingers in the alligator's mouth when I did that, and it don't feel good. Trust me, it happens. But anyway, now that if you look around the pond, it looks like erosion took place. Basically, looks like the land done fell over. Only because alligators during the summertime will act like bulldozers. They're going to go in there and they're going to push and push, and they're going to create themselves a den. So understand that alligators brumate, bears hibernate. Same thing, two different deals. That's all it is. Two-sided thing. Now that we into the summertime, ladies and gentlemen, there's a few things going on. As of right now, we're actually in the heart of mating season right now. Now, moms and dad, it is your job to explain it to your kids, not my job, okay? But for the little ones that don't know what I'm talking about, that means mama's got babies in her belly. Right now, she's pushing about 35 to 40 of them babies in her belly. Your August, September time frame is pretty much when baby alligator is going to be born. For your Louisiana folks that see all the lily pads, or whoever got lily pads, if you notice the big, beautiful white flower, all the yellow flowers start coming out, just kind of get an idea, understanding that's when baby alligators are pretty much going to be born. But what's amazing about that, the 35 to 40 of them, prior to mama having them, she's going to go on the land, she's going to take all the dead leaves of the vegetation, she's going to start packing it, and what do y'all think mama's making? She's making a nest, because she's got all them babies to put in there. The amazing thing about that is the very first 2 weeks of the eggs being in the nest, mama got determination if she wants all solid males or all females. Now, as I go through this, you understand temperature plays a big role in reptiles' lives. Okay? So, in other words, anything 86 and below will create your females. Anything 87 and above will actually create your males. So, fellas, all I'm telling you, we just hotter in the alligator world, okay? Do not think about it in the real world. She's going to shut you down. Only in the alligator world. Will mom have a solid gender of only females or only males? No. You get within 30 yards of her nest, I promise you she's coming for you. She ain't coming to eat you. She's just coming to shoo you away, or she'll bite you. Just to kind of let you know, get away from my babies. That's just how it is, you know. And so as I said that, now you understand that she's not always on her nest like most birds do and stuff like that. She's just going to sit in the water and she's going to kind of watch out for her. I had a guy yesterday who was like, man, Mr. Leo, I work around a lot of this. I work in the oil field and stuff. How would I know if there's an alligator nest on there? I said, don't worry. Mama will let you know. She'll come right out the water. Either you move or you get hit. It's okay. So all it is, it looks like one big old anthill. That's all it does. But they're all packed in there. Within a year's time frame, mama will turn around and eat her babies, but while they're in the shell, let me ask you a question. Do you think baby alligators have teeth when they're born?
Yeah.
They actually do. They got 81 in the shell. It's considered the egg tooth. It is the only tooth in the center of their snout that will break off and never grow back. Okay? So after they're out, they will continue having 80 in their mouth, generating over 3,000 teeth in their lifespan. Really, really cool. And what's cool about an alligator's tooth? We call it coning. So what does that mean? That means basically a new tooth grows inside of the old tooth. So when the old tooth falls off, the other one's already there. They're the only one who's got the best dental plan because it works. It is. You know, so they do have all that going. Think about it. If I was able to drag all this mud and stuff and go through it, could you imagine how many teeth I would have back here?
Oh,
this park's been operating over 25 years. And we took it over for the past 4 years, and all we did was create a farming industry, a sanctuary. He had a farm, so he had so many alligators back here. Just to kind of give you an idea, we do have one that's over 13 feet. His name is Big Luke, and he's actually right here, ladies and gentlemen. He's coming to sneak up. He's going to watch him, Josh. He loves Josh. Even though he gets on the boat, there's nothing I can do for him anyway. But Luke, like I said, he is our biggest guy here, and I'll go through him in a little bit. Yeah, that's the portion. Towards the end of the show, hang around because Josh is going to get him in that back corner, trying to get him up a little bit higher after that. So, basically, after all that said and done with the mom and everything, let me ask you a question. How many sets of eyelids do an alligator actually has?
2 sets.
2, 3 eyelids.
3.
Oh, they're not a spider. 6. Now, they actually have 3. The very first one's like yours and mine. The second one actually plays as a pair of goggles. Means they'll never have to go to Walmart to buy a pair of goggles to go swimming. It's automatically built into their skull. So basically, if you ever get a chance, look at the alligator. It's got a couple fingernails on the paw. The other 2 don't. Only because when they touch that water, that second membrane goes over their eyes, creating a pair of goggles for them, which is really cool. And it helps them see underneath the water. Now, I know you're looking at the water and say, wait a minute, Leo, how can an alligator see underneath the water? It's all dirty and murky. They can see from me to this young lady. But if you take a closer look at that alligator, it's got black dots on the top and the bottom of his jaw. It's actually called sensory pits. What does that mean? That means when you're getting out your car, you're walking the pier and going throughout the park, do not think any of my 250 alligators don't know where you're at. Every single one of them do through vibration. Same thing with the mating in the beginning. Stick his head and his tail out the water, create this huge growl, kind of make it look like raindrops on the water. Like the way I like to tell people here in Louisiana, we love music. The one with the best music wins the female. That's pretty much how it is. So they're challenging, trust me. 7 o'clock in the morning, monkey see, monkey do. Once start doing it, then it travels. Then he comes here, and when these guys, especially when Lou and Mikey, which is my 2 biggest ones here, you can feel this tin rattling and stuff like that. You can actually feel it in your heart when you're by the deers. I love to come here. There's a few times I come here and I just sit down and watch him do it, man. It's really amazing. But like I said, Lou already got his wife. He's been with her ever since I've been having a property here. And the way that happens is they only choose one, they keep him. If she rejects him and he chooses her, he'll kill her. Well, it's old school marriage. Kind of, you got to go out and get a cop marriage. That's just what it is. But really, that's how it is. But anyway, the third set on these guys here is basically for their eyelids. If they ever was fighting against any alligator or any other prey, they can just sink it in their skulls and protect them. So it's really amazing. Moving along, look at all these ridges on the bumps and stuff like that on the back. Can y'all tell me what that is? Come on, think about it.
Just scales?
You heard what you said? Scales. They're also called scutes.
Scutes.
Some people in the scientific world is actually called oscillator. All that really means is English, bone and skin. Plays an amazing role. Think about it. Police officer put his bulletproof vest on. He does it for protection, armor, right? These alligators battle against each other and other prey. They need some type of protection. The second thing it does, it works as one huge solar panel for an alligator. How many of you ever seen an alligator sitting on a bank with his mouth open like that? Y'all ever see that? Look, I like to tell people, you see an alligator like that, that ain't your business. Trust me, leave them alone. It's like a kid drinking 150 energy drinks, okay? That animal's mouth open like that is circulating heat. Hot air's got to go somewhere. It's like my wife tells me all the time. But anyway, fellas, you got that, right? Okay, just making sure y'all with me. But anyway, that's what they're doing. A dog sticks his tongue out his mouth. It's called panting. Alligator does it called gaping, okay? Their tongue can come out their mouth. They also don't have slobber glands, okay? So that's why they can't do like the dog does. So basically, they'll sit open like that and just circulating heat throughout their body, which is pretty much charging them up, okay? The reason why they do that, because understand, an alligator burns energy super fast. They are not the marathon runners, they're sprint runners. So in other words, when we catch these guys, we let them turn and kind of burn that energy. But we always know, don't ever think that alligator's tired. He will endure some of that energy to try to protect himself because he knows he's caught. So we just kind of keep an eye on it. But yes, they burn energy super, super fast. The third thing, them oscillatorms on the back, the big old bumps, is all it is bones underneath the skin. It helps people like me. When we bought the property, I'd seen Big Lou and the previous owners. You're like, oh man, the biggest one I got here is 11 foot. Man, me and my wife seen him in the back corner. I told my wife, I said, look, that's a big alligator. I don't know about 10 to 11 foot. I promise you he's bigger. So what I'm saying is, I called a biologist. I was able to get him out the water. We took a piece of oscillatorm, he cut it off. He sent it to a college, kind of like rings on a tree. Called me back and said, look, Mr. Leo, just to let you know, Lou's 70 years old. And I was like, yes! You know, and it's pretty cool because think about it. Alligators in captivity, that's this. These guys can live over 100 years old. In the wild, you're looking at the 60 to 70. Only because you got poachers, you got game wardens, you've got getting hit by a boat, crossing the road, getting eaten by other alligators, stuff like that. So I still think 70 years for an alligator in the wild is pretty good. But here, I can keep these guys over 100 years old. I have to try to explain that to my cousin off of Swamp People, which is RJ and J. Paul, because we were supposed to do Swamp People, but I didn't want to do it because I was already doing this. And he was like, man, Cruzan, he said, you're going to make a lot of money on this film. No, you won't. He's like, well, explain to me. I said, well, think about it. You shoot a 12 or 13 footer, you only get paid once. You take a 13 footer, you keep them here, you educate people and charge 11 at the door, this animal's going to live over 100 years old. Do the math, so if you think about it, they're not our Swamp People anymore, but that's besides the point. But anyway, like I said, these guys are really, really amazing. They've been around over 250 million years. They're dinosaurs. I really love them a lot. But let me ask you a question. Can anybody tell me what's in between an alligator's toes?
Webbing.
Webbing. What other animal has web feet? Ducks, frogs, beavers, and otters. So let me ask you something. What are they used for? Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's play the game. If you believe the web feet for an alligator is for swimming, put your hands up real, real high. Come on, be confident because you know you're wrong.
No.
Alligators actually use their what to swim with?
Tails.
They use their tails. Alligators consume 3% fat, ladies and gentlemen. That means everything you see on that animal is muscles. That's pretty much Louisiana's delicacy here. They love eating the tail. So if you eat any alligator, especially in Louisiana or pretty much any other place, 9 out of 10, you're going to be eating the tail. Now, if you go to the Philippines and stuff like that, God knows what you eat. I'm just saying, here in Louisiana, you're going to get the tail. That's pretty much the best meat, they say. I don't have a craving for it. Out of the lifestyle that I live dealing with alligators, I only ate alligator twice, and I didn't eat it. I didn't like it, and people think I got these guys that are like, hey man, do you eat alligator? Do you eat your dog? No? Okay. These are my pets. I don't, they're water pets, but not mine. As far as to cuddle and love like a cat, no. But anyway, that's where you actually go. So the web feet is pretty much like mud shoes, okay? So think about it. Your average 6 to 7 foot alligator can actually do 22 miles an hour in the mud. Look, I don't know about you, but I can't run that fast. But having a park every day is a venture. The day we bought the park, I told my son, so let's go take a walk around. I just want to see if there's any wild alligators out there. We got in the back over there. I didn't know they had a mama protecting her babies. She decided to come out the bush, open her mouth, she hissed and she snapped. That day for me was sacrifice, because yes, I did leave my son behind and took off running. I got 4 kids. What was one, right? I was like, it's all good. And he was like, Mom, Dad left me back here with an alligator chasing us. Son, you should have moved, man. Your legs are a lot longer than mine. He don't walk the property no more with me. He was here last Easter, and I said, son, let's go walk the property. He's like, Dad, you left me last time. I ain't going nowhere. So, it happens, but anyway, they can do about 30 in the water. They're pretty much swamp dolphins, swamp puppies, however you want to consider it. They move pretty quick. I'm not telling you Lou, being the size of 13 feet, is going to do 22 miles an hour in the mud. He can still do about 5 to 6 miles an hour, okay? That's still pretty quick for a big alligator that's close to 900 pounds, okay? Just leave him alone. That's the best way to do it. But rest assured, it's only the females that will chase you because she's only protecting her what?
Babies.
That's it. The males are like any other male. They're lazy. Okay? You stay in your lane, I stay in my lane. That's how it works. You don't touch me, I don't touch you. The females, they'll make sure that they'll take care of it only if there's babies around. Other than that, they picked on by the other big guys. Just to understand, female alligators will get only 8.5 to 9 feet. Males occasionally get up to 14 feet. So if you're one of these guys that I got a 16-foot boat, I seen 3-footer both ends, that's a big alligator. I'll just put it that way. They're not going to get that big, okay? They just won't. Now your crocodiles can get a lot bigger. Your American alligators, they'll stop around close to 14 feet. We do have one in Beaumont, Texas. His name is Big Tex. At our other park, he's 14 feet at 1,100 pounds. Okay, so he's a big guy. We hold the national record for the state of Texas. I do believe I have the largest alligator in the state of Louisiana in captivity. Until I'm proven different, I'm still going to run with it. Nobody ever showed me a picture or came here with documents because Blue is documented. Nobody ever proved me wrong. So far, I hold the title. All right, so moving along, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm almost done. I know it's kind of warm. And my job as an educator is to also inform you Don't ever, ever, ever feed an alligator in the wild. It is the worstest thing you can do. They're like husband, cats, and kids. You feed them once, they're not going anywhere, okay? The reason why I tell you that, because there's a few things. A lot of alligator attacks, right? You hear that all, and actually you hear more dog attacks than alligator attacks. But let me ask you a question. How many of you are from Louisiana? Okay. Quite a few, okay. Texas? All right. Anybody here that lives around alligators? No. He's like, no. Where are y'all from? Oregon. You ain't got no alligators over there. Welcome to Louisiana, my friend. Now, the reason why I asked that is because would you be surprised if I told you there's only 2 documented attacks in the state of Louisiana? And there's only 1 in the state of Texas.
Aye.
Very rare, right? The game warrant stats is 0.03. What does that mean? Very rare for an alligator to attack a human being. But once you start feeding that animal, you change the whole dynamics of the game. That animal loses his fear for humans. Not only that, he becomes to a point to where he don't hunt no more. Why? It's open buffet. Humans are feeding me. There's no point for me to hunt. And the main thing you really do is give that animal a death sentence. Human error. Is because when you start feeding them and they wind up in the wild back again, like if any of these alligators go to the wild, and they'll wind up at a boat dock or something, what do you think a game warden's going to do to that animal? Do you think he's actually going to bring it back and relocate it? No, because he's going to win it back to the same spot he's always been. They put a bullet in his head. Can I give you an example? Have you ever heard about that little kid that lost his life at Disney World about 9 years ago? It was on the news. It went crazy. Trust me. My partner sits on the board. He has to investigate every alligator attack that actually happens. We have to do the investigation for Disney World. And let me tell you something. That was tragic. He was a veteran of the United States Air Force. He's still alive. But what I'm saying is, he has to do this. Sometimes he gets calls when they drag the body to try to catch dead bodies and stuff. But anyway, so we went up there. We took a look at it. And we wanted to know what happened to this 2-year-old little boy. And the 7'3" alligator came out the water, grabbed the kid, took him underneath the water. Remember what I said? They spent 2.5 hours underneath the water. They're amazing at what they do. Not killing kids, but I'm just saying. They go underneath the water. So that's what they did. They took the little boy, they dropped him, went to a pad. That's how they found the little kid. We come to find out there was 2 employees from Disney World feeding that alligator. Got it on film. We looked in and said, well, you know what? Let's dig a little bit more. There's got to be more to this story. The corporate business sent an email, said, stop feeding that alligator. Leave it alone. They continued feeding them for lunch. Just kept doing it. Throw their leftovers and kept doing it. All I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, is that 2-year-old little boy paid the price for human stupidity. That's all I'm telling you. I'm not trying to fuss you or kind of correct you. I'm just saying, don't feed them. They've been around over 250 million years. They don't need us to help them feed. Now, I know you're looking at Josh over here feeding, so he's telling us not to feed the alligator. This is where common sense come in, okay? If I don't feed these guys, you get caught feeding the alligators in the wild, that's a $1,500 per foot fine, per alligator, okay? So think about it. Same thing here. If I don't feed these guys, that's $1,500 per foot of that alligator, and trust me, 11% of my alligators are over 12 feet. That's bankruptcy 6 times for me. It's animal cruelty. I cannot do that. They will close this business down if they find out that I'm not feeding these guys, which they can't go 2 years without eating. Not that I ever extend that. It's just basically wildlife and fisheries and game wardens trap feral hogs. They send them to the property. My guys just destroys them, quarter them, give them something to eat. So I actually, for the past few years, I didn't have to pay for no food to feed my alligators. Especially when my field trips come here, I'm really good. No, I'm just I'll pick it. I did that last time we had a field trip. The little kid was like, "Are you going to feed me to an alligator?" I said, "Only if you're first grade." It's like, "I'm going to first grade." It's like, "You're lucky you're here now then." No, I have fun with that. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all I'm really telling you. Just leave them alone. Don't feed them. Can y'all do me a big favor? Let's give it up for Josh out there, please.
Thank you, Josh.